welcome back. Today I have for you my Best of Beauty 2018, my all-time holy grail favorite products from 2018. I have so many great products here and I feel like I'm still forgetting stuff. I was looking through my makeup and I was looking through some old monthly favorites and I really tried my best to narrow the products down to like absolute holy grails, like stuff that I've repurchased, that I've used constantly. If I forget something or if I didn't mention something that I told you guys that I loved, it doesn't mean that I don't love it. It just means that I either one, forgot about it, or two, I just don't want the video to be like a million years long. So I will do like favorites in each category. For example, I really want to do like my current favorite foundations. I want to do like my favorite full coverage concealers, etc, etc. I just really don't want to make the video like 4 hours long. So yeah. I hope you guys are ready for this long video. I hope you have your snacks ready. I hope you have your 3-course meals ready. And I hope you enjoy. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so I'm gonna start in the order in which I would do my makeup just because it's the easiest way for me to keep everything super organized. So the first thing I always do, of course, are the brows. So I have 3 brow pencils to mention, which is a bit ridiculous, but I feel like this year was like the year of the brows for me. Like my brows have evolved a lot throughout the years. They're not perfect, but I really feel like I found my method for the brows. And these pencils are the bomb. And maybe if you don't like one of them, hopefully you'll like the other 2. And I always like to give you guys a different variety and options just in case. So the first one that I have is the Wet n Wild Retractable Brow Pencil. This was like my love towards the beginning of 2018. And the reason I love it so much is because one, it's a dupe for the Anastasia Brow Definer, which I really did like. But the reason I don't love that brow pencil is because it breaks on me. This one doesn't, and it's a quarter of the price. It has a really nice angled tip, so it makes it super easy to outline your brows. If you're like me and you like to outline first, this is a pencil for you. And with the angle, it just fits perfectly right in your brows, so you really have a lot of control. You can define your brows the way that you want. You can make your arch, and it's just a really great creamy formula. It's not too creamy, it's not too dry, has a spoolie on the end. I mean, you really can't ask for more in a brow pencil, so this is my jam for outlining. And then the other 2 that I'm going to mention to you are really good if you like to fill in your brows. You can obviously use them for outlining as well, because that's what I do, but also if you like to fill in your brows and you like sort of like that feathery brow look, you will love these brow pencils. So the next one is from CoverGirl. This one is the Ultra Fine Brow Pencil. So first of all, I feel like CoverGirl totally killed it this year. They have so many great products and they went cruelty free, which I think is huge in the makeup world. So for those of you who are cruelty free, you can now officially try out all their products. So this brow pencil is in the shade Rich Brown. I have tried a couple different shades, soft brown, and I believe the other one is medium brown. They all work really well for me. This is just the one that I currently have. This is a dupe for the Anastasia Brow Wiz. So if you love that pencil, but you don't like to spend that much money on it, this is the pencil for you. So you can see it's really, really tiny. It makes it really easy to fill in your brows. This is what I've been using currently to outline, and I really, really like the way my brows have been looking, because since it's so tiny, I feel like it's just super precise. So I love this one. And then the next one is from Colourpop. So this is the Precision Brow Pencil, and I have this one in the shade Brunette, or just kidding, Bangin' Brunette. I bought 3 of these. Very, very similar concept to the CoverGirl one. You can see it also has that really tiny little tip, kind of rounded though, whereas the other one is a little bit more pointed. So very, very similar. Again, really great formula. So it just really depends on the type of pencil that you're looking for, maybe what's more convenient for you. But these are my 3 favorites, and you know I love a product if I'm constantly repurchasing it or if I have backups for it. Sticking with brows, I have been pretty much using only this, the NYX Tinted Brow Mascara. I mean, with the exception of a couple other brow mascaras, but just in general, this is the one that I always go back to. It's affordable, keeps my brows in place all day. It doesn't make them feel hard. Like you can still tell that I have like brow hairs. It doesn't look like hairspray brows, you know what I mean? It literally is like Gorilla Glue for your brows. This has kept my brows on through the heat, through sweat, through everything. Like it's amazing. And I have this one in the shade Espresso. I've had this since March. It's January. So this literally lasts forever, and you guys know I am heavy-handed. So it's a really great formula. It just glides on the brows. It's not goopy, it's not chunky. It's super, super natural, and it makes your brows look really fluffy and full. So this I love. Next up, I have eyeshadow primers for you. So honestly, I just started using eyeshadow primers probably not that long ago, and I feel like it completely changed everything for me. So I used to just use concealer and I would set my lids, and that worked out fine. But then when I started using eyeshadow primer, I felt like my shadow lasted longer and it looked more vibrant and just better in general. So my favorite one is from NYX. It's the Proof It Waterproof Eyeshadow Primer. This is just perfect. Like it just makes your shadows last. They don't crease, and you don't really have to set, like it dries down really nicely. It doesn't like stay tacky or anything, which I really like. Another one that I really like is from Koki. This is the Prep Up eyeshadow primer. This one is also honestly pretty much, I feel like the same exact thing, the same formula, same consistency. This one just has a slight tint to it, but I wanted to mention both again just to give you guys some options and because I really like them both. Moving into eyeshadow palettes. So I have honestly not that many. So the first one is the Urban Decay Born to Run palette. I love this palette so much. I love the packaging. I love the color schemes. I feel like you can create a lot of beautiful looks with it. I filmed a few tutorials with this palette this year and I love it. I'm wearing it on my eyes today. I feel like it's just such a beautiful, like everyday palette. You have your pops of colors in here. They're so buttery and rich and pigmented and long wearing, and the palette is just great. I feel like Urban Decay's eyeshadows in this palette have just gotten so much better and have evolved versus the Naked 1, Naked 2, Naked 3, all the other palettes. Like I feel like this one is just different for some reason. I don't know. It's just more buttery. It's a lot creamier and it's just a lot more blendable. So this is just beautiful. You guys know what's coming. Profusion. Where have you been all my life? Profusion eyeshadows are so good. Like literally the bomb diggity. The two palettes that I wanted to mention, the first one is the Mixed Metals Peach 9 Matte and Metallic Shadows. These are huge, and this palette I believe was like $10. This is a great everyday warm palette. You have some shimmers, you have some mattes. I just can't believe how affordable these are for what you get. So that palette is really great, like an everyday palette. And the other one that I love is the Beauty Superstars palette. If you don't want to spend money on the Urban Decay one, I truly believe that this could be a really good dupe, kind of. I mean, the colors aren't exact, but these colors are also super blendable and creamy, and they're long wearing, and they're just great. I think Profusion is such an underrated brand. I don't hear a lot of people talking about them, and I don't know why, because seriously, it's become one of my new favorite drugstore brands. Next up, I have these Jcat Beauty Prismetal Chrome Eye Mousses. So these were actually per some of your recommendations. I did earlier this year a subscribers made me, or testing my subscribers' favorite makeup video, and these were one of them, and I was blown away when I put this on my lids. Literally, it's delicious. Like if I could eat these, I would. Like, so basically you dip your finger in and they feel like a mousse, kind of like a Colourpop single Super Shock shadow, and then when you apply it, it's so wet and metallic and creamy and delicious and pigmented, and it's just like, the one that I love is Tricky Jester and Chrome Galaxy. These are my two favorites, and these will really amp up your look and just really take it to the next level. Like I just can't describe these. I feel like you really have to go out and get them for yourselves to see what I'm talking about. The formula is just out of this world amazing, and I'm pretty sure these are under $10, but I would pay more than that because I feel like these are that worth it. Something else that just completely blew me away this year are these Flower Beauty Warrior Glitter Shadows. I never thought that I could find a really good glitter shadow comparable to the Stila ones until I came across these and the other ones that I'm about to show you, but I picked up all the colors because they're just that good. I'm wearing one of them on my eyes today. I'm wearing the shade Bomb, which is definitely bomb. It's like a really pretty sort of like gold yellow, bronzy tone. It's so gorgeous. The shade Blade is also really beautiful. It's like a nude rose gold, and the shade Camo is stunning, and this one is like a really nice green. And then the other one I haven't actually used. It's like a darker like purple blue. I really want to do a look with that. I mean, they have the brush, so it's super easy. It's very convenient. You don't have glitter all over the place, and when you apply them, you can really amp them up, or you can make them more natural if you want to just add a little pop of glitter. They're so pretty. They last all day. They don't crease, and you don't have any fallout, so it's like a win-win. You get glitter, but you don't get the mess. The other ones that I really like are from Pixi. Now, the reason I'm mentioning two different kinds is because I feel like the colors from Pixi are different than the ones from Flower Beauty. So depending on the type of colors you get will depend on the brand that you get, but honestly, the consistencies, the formulas, everything to me at least is the same. I don't have any issues with the Pixi ones. The only difference to me is the shade range of the Pixi ones are different than the ones from Flower Beauty, but nonetheless, they're both great formulas and I love them. I just wanted to give both of the brands a shout out because they killed it. Like, this formula is out of this world. I have another CoverGirl product. So this is the CoverGirl liquid liner. This one is in 320. It's just, I believe, the matte black one. This is a true matte black liquid liner. I'm wearing it today. I just did a really basic wing, but seriously, I have yet to find a really bomb matte liner until I came across this. I mean, there's some really great liners at the drugstore. For some reason, I thought a lot of them were matte, and a lot of them do say matte, until I discovered this, and I'm like, no, those eyeliners are still kind of shiny. tiny. This is like totally matte. It's super black. This will last through crying, through sweat, through anything. I mean, my wings will stay like this literally like for 12 hours. I think also if you're a beginner, you would like this because it's super easy to work with. It's a tiny tip and you can get a precise wing every single time. I also just wanted to mention a mascara. I talked about this mascara in my November favorites. Essence has some really great mascaras. This Lashes of the Day Super Volume Mascara is great. Really gives you lots of volume, lots of length. There's no clumps, and Essence kills it. Like, they have some really great mascaras. Another mascara that I really like for the lower lashes is the Maybelline Lash Discovery Mini Brush Mascara. This has, like it says, a very tiny little brush, perfect for really lengthening your lower lashes, and it doesn't crumble and flake all over your life throughout the day, even in hot weather. This isn't the waterproof version, but I feel like it kind of is. And then I have some liners that I've been really obsessed with. I'm wearing one of them today. So these are the LA Girl Shockwave Neon Eyeliners. These are, I'm pretty sure, available directly on their website. They were sent to me in PR and they are bomb. So today I'm actually wearing the yellow one, and I think these are really fun just to add a nice pop of color. If you're like me and you don't really like to play with a ton of color with your makeup looks, but you want to add something, just a little something extra, then these are great. So the color that I have on today is in the shade Screamin', which is just a really bright neon yellow. I also really like the shade Vivid, which is a nice, I was gonna say vivid purple, but yes, bright purple. And then the shade Blaze, it's a really gorgeous magenta pink. LA Girl has some really great creamy liners. They last all day. They don't smudge on my contacts. They don't irritate my eyes, and they're really great. And I believe these are like $5 a piece, which is really great for liners that are colorful. They have like a big shade range, because I feel like a lot of the eyeliners at the drugstore are just like basic colors like green and blue and orange, but I like how these are very unique but still really wearable. We're moving right along. Let's move into face products. So of course I have to mention my Kokie Smooth Glow Hydrating Foundation Primer. I don't know if I talked about this earlier this year or if it was last year, but I'm gonna mention it again because it's that good. It's been my go-to primer lately, especially now that it's winter time. My skin has been a little bit more dry. This really is what it says. It's a hydrating smooth glow primer. Makes my skin super hydrated, very, very nice and prepped like for my foundation, but it's still a little bit glowy. It's not glittery. It just feels like a really nice lightweight gel moisturizer. So I always do my skincare, moisturize my skin, and then I will go in with this, and I feel like it just makes my skin look nice and plump and ready for my foundation. Every foundation that I've used with this primer looks just so good. Like, my skin just looks like, I don't know, just so pretty and fresh. So I love that primer whenever my skin needs just a little bit of a pick-me-up and I feel like it's kind of dull and it just needs some hydration. That one is my lifesaver. And then another one, you guys know, my Tatcha Silk Canvas Primer. So I'll be the first to tell you guys if an expensive product is worth it, because you guys know I love my drugstore and affordable stuff. But when a high-end product is good, I'm gonna tell you, and this is good. This is so good. So I got this back, I believe it was March or April, and I still have so much product left, and I'm heavy-handed with this. I use this now more so on my forehead and a little bit around my nose, not really so much on my entire face, because even though this doesn't necessarily say it's going to mattify your skin, it does absorb the oil, it will make your makeup last all day, and it just makes everything look super smooth and just really airbrushed prior to applying your foundation. So I don't know, it's just like literally like a blurring, mattifying, smoothing, long wearing primer. So if you have oily skin, I think you will absolutely love this. You know that it's super expensive, but it will last you a long time, and I use way more than what is suggested, so that tells you something. Next, I have the Rimmel Stay Matte Fix and Go 2-in-1 Primer and Setting Spray. This literally will do what it says. So it says Shine Control, Locks in Makeup, Quick Dry, Oil Free. Totally agree. I love the Rimmel Stay Matte line. It's one of the best at the drugstore when it comes to my skin. Like, I have combo skin, but if you have oily skin, I'm telling you, you need to get this. This will make your makeup last longer, and you won't have to touch up as quick whenever you spray this. Kind of smells like hairspray, which is ironic because obviously hairspray will like really hold your makeup intact. It's not overpowering, it does go away, but seriously, spray this before and after your makeup and it's a game changer. Another spray that I wanted to mention is the e.l.f. Dewy Setting Mist. This is absolutely beautiful, and if you love the smell of coconuts in summer, you will love this spray. This is just so beautiful on the skin. It makes you just look really fresh and radiant. It doesn't have glitter, doesn't make you look oily like the Tatcha Dewy, whatever it's called. The Luminous Skin Mist. I don't like that spray. I'm gonna talk about it probably in my January hits and misses, but it's just unlike no other. It will give you that JLo glow from within just with the spray. So you could spray this before or after your makeup. I would always spray it afterwards, and I feel like it's so pretty in the summer. So I think also if you have dry skin, you would really, really love it. And I don't know if you can tell, but I have like a little tiny bit left. It's so good. I gotta order more. I want to make a huge order on e.l.f.'s website because I want to get some things, but a lot of this stuff is always sold out, and I'm like, foundations. So I really don't have a lot of foundations. I want to do a whole video on like my favorites. So I'm just gonna talk about like my holy grails, which I'm sure you guys know. The first one is the, of course, Makeup Revolution Conceal and Define Full Coverage Foundation. I'm wearing this one today. I did a full video on this. I was using this nonstop for the past probably like 3 months or so, like since September when I first discovered it. So I'm in the shade 8 and 8.5. Now I was in the shade 10 and 10.5, but those are like sort of like my self-tan shades. These are just my regular like fair shades, and they match me really well. The reason I have to mix the two is because 8.5 is a little bit too dark, or too light actually, and F8 is a little too dark. So I have to mix the two to get my perfect shade. And seriously, this is the most full coverage foundation at the drugstore. It's really great if you have oily skin. From what I've seen, this does not work the best if you have dry skin. I wouldn't recommend it. I mean, you guys have heard me talk about this a million times. I just feel like it's just the most beautiful full coverage foundation at the drugstore. Like, I just have yet to find something that's this full coverage right off the bat. Another foundation that I love is the CoverGirl True Blend Matte Made Foundation. I don't know if you can tell, but I barely have anything in here. Like, I used a lot of this foundation. This is a medium to full coverage, sort of just really natural, soft matte finish on the skin. This is just like one of my fallback foundations. Like, it looks really, really good. It lasts all day. I wore this for my graduation party. My makeup looked beautiful in pictures. I feel like this is just kind of like a safe foundation for me. Like, I know it works. It's medium to full coverage, so I could use this every single day if I don't want something really, really full coverage. I feel like the Makeup Revolution foundation is not practical for every single day if you don't like full coverage. If you want something more natural, this is not the way to go. I mean, it doesn't look cakey or anything, but I know when I'm doing something a little bit more minimal, sometimes I like to keep things a little bit more just natural looking and just kind of like skin-like, and I feel like the CoverGirl Matte Made Foundation is perfect for that. I also have here the L'Oreal Infallible Stick Foundation. So I have two shades, the shade 408 Tan and 410 Cocoa. These are not my shades at the moment, but Cocoa is definitely a contour shade for me. Tan is my tan shade. I have to actually get a shade for me right now. I wanted to mention this because I remember loving this so much in the summer because it literally looks like your skin. It didn't feel like I had a lot of makeup on. It just felt super, super comfortable, and it's super easy because it's a stick. So you literally just swipe, blend, and you're good to go. It's just such a creamy, soft formula that it gave me just like this really beautiful contoured look without looking muddy or streaky, and it just blended in like a dream. So I love this foundation. So I'm really excited to keep using this, especially on my super natural makeup days, and also when it gets warmer outside, which hopefully will be soon. I mean, it's still January. But next up, let's move into some concealers. So the first concealer that I have is the Too Faced Born This Way Multi-Use Sculpting Super Coverage Concealer. This, I can say, has replaced my Tarte Shape Tape. I still use that concealer periodically from time to time, and sometimes I'll mix it because I love mixing concealers, but this is a more hydrating, lighter formula than Tarte Shape Tape. So if you hated Tarte Shape Tape and you felt like it was too dry, thick, or cakey, which I personally didn't, like, it worked really well with my under eyes, but I know a lot of people, I've heard at least, complained about that it was too dry and thick. You will love the Too Faced Born This Way one because it's way more hydrating, has a thinner formula, but it's still really great coverage. This could double up as a foundation as well because of the great coverage and how beautiful and natural it still looks underneath the eyes. I don't feel like this creases as much as other concealers on me. It just looks really, really beautiful. You could also use this to contour. So I currently am in the shade Golden Beige. I could probably go down a shade, and then the shade Chestnut is really good for cream contouring. Like I said, you could double this up and just use it as a concealer and foundation as well. So if you're traveling or you're on the go and you just don't want to have a lot of product, this is perfect for that. And just a more affordable option that I also fell in love with this year is the Flower Beauty Light Illusion Concealer. I also really like their foundation as well. So I have the shade Light, Medium, and Light. So sometimes I like to mix the two depending on the type of look that I'm doing, but just for my everyday makeup, I really like the shade Light Medium because I don't really like a super light under eye, but this is super cooling, hydrating, great coverage, probably one of the best coverage concealers at the drugstore. You just can't go wrong with it. The one complaint that I do have about Flower Beauty is that I wish that they had more shades. So if you're looking for something really great coverage and you can't find your shade, I would definitely obviously stick to the Too Faced one because they have a great shade range. But if you can find your shade in the Flower Beauty one, it is really, really good, and it is one of my favorite drugstore concealers. So this, I got some good use out of it. And today, kind of random, like I said earlier, I like to mix concealers. I actually mixed Flower Beauty and the Too Faced one. I don't know why, I just did, and I really like the way that it looks. Okay, let's talk about some translucent powders. So you already know my collab Set the Stage loose powder is my holy grail. This is like my favorite powder in my entire collection. I could throw out all of my powders and just use this one and be good to go. It's so smoothing. It literally makes your skin look soft and airbrush and porcelain. And what's really sad is that I actually heard that this brand is getting discontinued. I don't know how accurate that is. I'm so sad because I actually love this brand and this powder is so good. So I hope that it's not. I'm seriously, I want to go out and get like 5 of these powders because it's the most beautiful powder I've ever put on my face. Like, not even being dramatic. And I have this one in the shade Porcelain Ivory, and it is perfection. Just in case that is getting discontinued and you can't get your hands on it, I have 2 other loose powders that I really love. So the number 7 Perfect Light Translucent powder is also perfection. I actually found this on Amazon because I couldn't find it like anywhere at my local drugstores, but you can get number 7 at Target online, some Targets in stores, and Walgreens. This is also very smoothing, very brightening, just very beautiful, and also porcelain. I don't know what it is about the collab one that I feel like is just the best, but this is like the second best. Also doesn't leave a white cast, which I love. And then the last and final translucent powder that I have is from Rimmel. This is the Rimmel Stay Matte powder. This I really like when I know that I'm gonna be out and I'm gonna wear my makeup for multiple hours. Also looks really beautiful in pictures, but I don't have to touch up whenever I wear this powder. Like, one and done, use this, the setting spray, and I'm good to go. Next up, I have the Thrive Cosmetics Sun Chaser Blur and Sculpt Bronzing Powder. Literally does what it says. I feel like it really like just makes your skin look so soft and airbrush, and it gives you the most beautiful brown, golden, sun-kissed, bronzy look. There's so many great bronzers at the drugstore, and even high-end ones too, but I feel like this one, it just gives you the most natural brown color, like you just went to the beach and you have like a beautiful brown tan. Like, it's just stunning. I love this for bronzing my chest, bronzing my face. Thrive Cosmetics is such a great brand. I love it. I love the packaging, love everything about the brand, and I actually got this because of Kathleen Lights, and ever since then I've been obsessed. And the next bronzer that I wanted to mention is a classic, and I feel like if you don't want to splurge on that one, this is your next best bet. This is the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. You guys know, everybody on YouTube raves about Physicians Formula, but the butter collection is such a good line at the drugstore. I love actually their butter blushes, butter highlights. First of all, you guys know it smells like summer. It smells amazing, and this color in Deep for me is just perfect. Like, very, very close to the Sun Chaser bronzer from Thrive Cosmetics. There's so many bronzers at the drugstore that I feel like can be a little orangey, but for me, this is just a staple, whether I'm tan, whether I'm light, self-tanned, whatever. It always works for me. And it's funny because when you touch it, it doesn't really seem that pigmented, but when you actually apply it, that's why I don't really like swatches, but when you actually apply it, it is my favorite blushes to date that I feel like are super comparable to my favorite high-end blushes from Anastasia are these from Burt's Bees. So these are the Burt's Bees blushes, and my 2 favorite shades are Toasted Cinnamon and Bare Peach. They are just the perfect classic bronzy peachy blushes, which is typically what I always go for. These blushes pretty much match with any type of look that I'm doing, whether it's super dramatic or if I'm doing something that is cool tone, warm tone. These are the blushes for me, especially Toasted Cinnamon. It's the one that I'm wearing today, and seriously, I cannot get enough of it. It is just the prettiest blush. It lasts all day. It's smooth. It's just so soft on the cheeks, and it just gives you the most beautiful flush without being like too much. I will mix these colors periodically, or I'll just use one or the other, but Toasted Cinnamon is definitely my fave. I always go back to that blush. I alternate between that blush and my Wet n Wild Color Icon blushes, but Burt's Bees takes the win. Let's talk highlights real quick. You knew it was coming. Makeup Revolution highlighting quads. Makeup Revolution killed it. Like, wow, they really stepped it up this year. So these highlighting quads are pretty much all that I've been using ever since I got them. I don't feel the need to go out, honestly, and purchase any more highlights because of these. So I like to mix the two. I have the darker one, which I feel like is perfect for my medium, tanner, darker skin tones. You got your really pretty gold, bronzy tone, and like pinky rose gold shades in here. You could use these as blush toppers as well. Pigment is just out of this world. I don't even like to really do swatches with these because I feel like it doesn't do the product justice. Like when you actually apply it to your skin is when you can actually see how beautiful and buttery and smooth and creamy the highlight is. It's not chunky, it's not glittery, it's not streaky, it's just so nice and smooth. And then I really like the lighter one as well when I'm more fair. And I pretty much just mix a lot of the highlights, and I like to also use these in the inner corner and brow bone highlight because they really pop. And these palettes are $15 a piece. You can get them online or at Ulta, and I would pay $30 because I feel like they're that good. You just can't ask for more in highlighting palettes. So good job, Makeup Revolution. I love you. Speaking of highlights, I have another one. This one is from Profusion. This Luminizer 2 palette, I found this at Target for $5. Like, holy cow, when I first used this, I was like, oh my god. So the shade in here, Interstellar, is a dupe for Fenty Beauty Trophy Wipe, which is one of my favorite high-end highlights. But if you don't want to splurge, you just don't want to spend that much money on a highlight, this one is your next best bet. And all the colors in here are absolutely stunning. I've used all of them on my face or on my eyes, one way or another. They're very similar to the Makeup Revolution. Like they have that smooth, wet, metallic look. They're not chalky or dry, and they're just so wet and just so juicy on the skin. Let's move into some lip products right now, which is like one of my favorite things ever. So I want to give a huge shout out to my Laneige Lip Sleeping Mask. I never thought that I would spend this much money on a lip balm type product, but this has changed my life. I know that is very dramatic, but I suffer from not just super dry lips, but also eczema around my mouth, and this helps tame it so much. So around the time I bought this was around the time when my mouth, like the outer edges of my mouth, were cracking and bleeding, which I know that's like very aggressive. So I applied this one night, I woke up the next night, and the edges of my mouth were still dry and the cracks were still there, but the bleeding stopped and it just felt more soothed. Like it just completely transformed my lips, and now I feel like I cannot go to sleep without using this. I wake up and I feel like I have new lips, like a new layer of skin on my lips. Like it just feels that good. They're super smooth, they're super hydrated, and I just cannot not use this before bed. Doesn't mention anything about it being medicated, but I swear it is. There's like magic particles in here. Something that's a little bit more on the affordable side, but that still needs some love, is this Frank Body Lip Balm. This is also a really nice, like thicker, sort of like Vaseline type, but it doesn't have any petroleum jelly or anything in it, but it has a similar consistency. I like this throughout the day, and I really like this after I exfoliate my lips because it is a little bit on the thicker side. So if I exfoliate my lips like during the day, right before a video, I'll apply this afterwards, and my lips are super soft. Really love the consistency of it. It's not goopy though, it's very creamy, it's not sticky, so it's very comfortable. And I still love my menthol lip shines from Bath & Body Works, don't get me wrong, but these just serve different purposes for me. So I use this one strictly at night, and I used to use this at night before I discovered the Laneige one, but now I pretty much use this every time I exfoliate my lips. The Frank Body one is just a really nice lightweight lip balm, so you could even wear underneath lip liners or liquid lipsticks, and it's not going to make any of the product cake up or anything, so I love it. Okay, let's talk about some lip liners. You guys already know the LA Girl Perfect Precision lip liners are everything to me. Everything that I want in a lip liner, these are it. They're only $4, and I normally hate wooden lip pencils up until I found these, and I was like, oh my god, these are everything. They don't break, they're creamy, and it's just like the best formula. So I have 3 shades that I really love. Flesh, which is a really nice nude. Bare is a little bit more of a darker, like brown nude, and then the shade Cafe is a little bit also darker, but they're all in like the nude, brown, pinky family. They have so many different shades. They also have bolder colors, so they're perfect for any lip color that you want to do, whether you want to do something super nude, a little bit darker, more brown, more pink, more bright. And I wanted to mention my Koki retractable lip pencils. Oh my. So I discovered these last year. I'm pretty sure I talked about these in my last year favorites. These are super creamy. The wooden lip pencils are creamy as well from LA Girl, but these you could actually wear them on their own with just like a gloss over top or like a lip balm underneath, and you're good to go. Like the formula is really nice. They're very rich and just like scrumptious on the lips. So nude and warm nude are my 2 perfect nude shades. I love how these don't break. I have tried so many retractable lip pencils like this that always break, and I'm very heavy-handed, so I get it, but with these I can be super heavy-handed and they won't break, so Gotta love Koki. Okay, let's talk liquid lipstick. So my favorite formula that is high-end at the moment is the Smashbox liquid lipsticks. These are so good, and my favorite nude of the year is definitely Gotta Light. So when I'm super fair, this can look a little bit more brown on me, and then when I'm tan, it's obviously more nude. This is just such a great formula. It's long wearing, it's really comfortable. I love the applicator. I like how you literally only need one layer and it's super opaque. I'm really picky when it comes to liquid lipsticks, and I will say Smashbox is up there, like definitely probably next to Ofra, the best liquid lipstick formula that is high-end that I have tried personally. And I also really like the shade Misconduct, which is more of a vampy deep red shade. Dampy. That's funny. So yeah, if you need some good liquid lipsticks and you're in the mood to splurge, Smashbox is where it's at. Next two brands are affordable if you don't want to splurge. I don't feel like they're as long wearing, but they still do last a while without having to touch up. And I really do like the colors. So Pixie by Petra, these are amazing. They're like, I feel like this line is perfect for my people who love nudes and pinks. It's just strictly nudes and pinks. I think actually, just kidding, they actually do have some like reds and stuff, but they have a really great selection of nudes and pinks. So the shade Matte Beige and Pastel Petal are two of my favorite colors because they're not too pink, they're not too nude, and I think these are really pretty in the spring and summertime. They just add a light flush to your lips without being too overwhelming. These smell like fruity candy, and they also have that similar applicator like the Smashbox one, so it makes it really easy to apply. And if you're somebody who doesn't really like to line their lips, these can kind of do that for you just because it has like that pointed applicator. Last but not least, for liquid lipsticks, I have the e.l.f. liquid lipsticks. These are, I believe, only $4. Now these are very, very matte. You cannot layer these. They kind of remind me of the Colourpop liquid lipsticks, but I kind of like these better because they're a little bit more lightweight and comfortable than the Colourpop ones. With these, I feel like you just really need to make sure that you're exfoliating, applying a lip balm beforehand, a lip liner to really make it last, and you cannot layer these. Okay, let's talk glosses. So the first gloss that I have, I feel like is just a classic. Everybody needs to have it in their collection. It's a universal clear gloss. This is the Essence Shine 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 Wet Look gloss, and literally what it says is what it is. Mine is completely almost faded, but I can still read what it says because I use it that much. So this is always in my purse, so I feel like I've only ever talked about this once, but this is seriously the best like wet looking, juicy, voluptuous, delicious lip gloss ever that's clear, and that's like $3. I get mine at Ulta, so mine obviously looks disgusting and it doesn't look clear because I have worn this over top of lipsticks, liquid lipsticks, lip liners, etc. It's just the perfect clear gloss. You can wear this pretty much with anything and it's gonna look good, and it's gonna make your lips look really wet. This is not a sticky gloss formula. It's super creamy and it's just very shiny. Like, that's just the best way for me to describe it. The next glosses that I have are from Wet n Wild. So these are their Color Icon lip glosses. I really hope that these are still available. Hold on. They are still available online. So these are actually from their, I believe it's their Flights of Fancy collection. Is that what it's called? I like these because they do have some color to them. So the first one is Featherless, which is like a really pretty light sort of peachy color. The other one is Fly Gal. This one, don't let the color fool you. I know that baby pink can be a little intimidating for some people. For me, the color is, because I feel like it makes my teeth look yellow, but I'm telling you, this is the perfect, most wearable baby pink gloss ever, and it's so beautiful. I feel like on a lot of different skin tones, it's very flattering. And then the other one is like this really super gorgeous, intense orange lip gloss, but it's very wearable. I love this shade in the summer when I'm tan. I think it's beautiful. And again, these are not sticky. I cannot stand a sticky lip gloss, but these are just such a great formula. And then the last lip gloss is actually the one that I'm wearing today. This is from Colourpop and Kathleen Lights. This one is in Moonchild. This is just the perfect nude lip gloss. This is the most perfect nude lip gloss that I have in my entire collection. The ones that I just showed you are more pinky and peachy, and they have some color to them. The previous one, of course, was a clear, and this is just my perfect nude. I mean, I have it on right now, and you can see how like my lips look. Like, it just complements pretty much any nude lip color that I have, and mine's like completely faded. Like, I definitely need to like stock up on these because they're just that good. Okay, now we can jump into makeup brushes and like sort of random tools that I was using. So let's start off with my two sponges of the year. I really honestly, ever since I started using these, I have not used or touched any of my other sponges on my vanity. So the first one is the e.l.f. Total Face Sponge. This will make any foundation look flawless, no matter how thick it is, no matter how light coverage it is. I love the little tiny holes in it. I know some people don't, but I feel like that is like the key to what makes everything look super flawless. I don't know, I just love everything about this sponge. I like how it's angled, I like how squishy and bouncy it is. This one, ever since I used it, I just have not used anything else besides the other one that I'm about to show you. The other one is from Dollar General, so this actually comes in a pack of 3 and it was $3, and I just got this on a whim. Honestly, I didn't expect much of it because there's a lot of sponges where they look really good but they're really hard when you actually get them damp and they just don't apply your foundation really well. This literally blew me off my seat because this is pretty much the same thing as a beauty blender except better. It's bouncier, it's squishier, and this also applies your makeup flawlessly. So these are the two that I've been alternating between. Now for brushes. The first brush that I have is from Equate. This is the powder brush and this is exactly what I use it for. I use it to pack on my powder all over my face and it is just so good and fluffy. These don't shed. There isn't much to the brush. It's basic but it's really good, and this is like $3 or $4, so you could even throw this in your makeup bag. It's really good for touching up, or if you just want to add some powder to your face. It applies the powder really nicely and it doesn't make it look cakey or anything. So the next brush is the e.l.f. 101 brush. This is my favorite brush for bronzing my chest. I mean, I have used it also for bronzing the skin. Like, it's really big and fluffy. You could use this really for anything, for powder. For the chest, it's just so big and fluffy. It just applies the product so smoothly and so nice. Just a really great powder slash bronzer brush. And then I have 2 other Wet n Wild brushes. I love these for bronzing and contouring. So this one is the P60 brush. It's kind of like tapered out and it's like very fluffy. So bronzing with this is so easy and quick, and it just applies the product really smoothly. The bristles are nice and soft. And then the P65 brush is great for contouring. You could even use this to set underneath your eyes. I personally don't use a brush to set anymore, so I really just like this for contouring. Even the nose, it's a little bit bigger, but I feel like it just gives you like a quick contour because I normally don't contour it super crazy. So this is just really good for like quick and easy bronzing and contouring, which is typically what I always do. And my favorite highlighting brush of the year is this one from Amazon. It's the Decay highlighting brush. I got these brushes from Amazon on a whim and seriously never looked back ever since. So this is a dupe for the Anastasia A23 highlighting brush. The Anastasia one is slightly softer, I'm gonna admit that, but the Decay one from Amazon is only $5 and it performs very similar. I mean, there isn't much of a difference. I'm gonna apply some highlight right now just to show you. No, I already have highlight on right now, but I just really want to show you. So this is with the Decay one. Sometimes I can't even tell, honestly, the difference. And then I'm gonna do the other side, which is with the Anastasia one. So you get the same effect with both of the brushes, but this one is $5 and this one I think is like, how much is it? I don't know, but you can get like 3 brushes for the price of one Anastasia one. I love Anastasia brushes, but I know not everybody wants to spend that kind of money on a brush. I totally get it. Speaking of Anastasia, I do want to mention this Anastasia number 18 brush. This brush is my baby for cutting the crease or for packing on shimmers or glitter. It is the best brush that I have found for packing on color. I have never found a brush that performs like this one. So this is expensive. I have yet to find a dupe for it. If you guys have one, let me know, but everything that I've tried, it just doesn't compare to this. Totally worth the splurge, and I have actually like 3 or 4 of these in my collection at the moment, and I'm in love. And then I wanted to give a huge shout out to my Fayon makeup brushes. So this is a brush kit that I got from Amazon, and I feel like these are really great beginner brushes. I mean, not just for a beginner, but if you just want some really good makeup brushes in your life. The moment that I started using these, I was like, damn, these are really good. I use these in every single makeup tutorial because they are amazing. The eye brushes are really good. They don't shed. The foundation brush is amazing. It's so good for really giving you that full coverage, flawless look. And all the brushes in here are great for your face, for your eyes, for contouring, for super dramatic looks, for natural looks, for anything. They're really good. So Amazon brushes is where it's at. Okay, I think this is the last and final thing. So ending off on a good note. So these e.l.f. eye tapes have saved my winged liner and my life. So if you guys look back at some of my old videos, my winged liner used to be like, shwoop, like upwards. But ever since I started using these e.l.f. eye tapes, it's more so like straight, which is what I've been trying to do with my winged liner for forever, and I could never get it perfect. But with these eye tapes, it makes it super easy. So you could use regular tape. This is kind of just an extra step that you don't really have to take, but these are so cheap. They're literally like $2 or $3. I haven't seen them in stores, only on their website, but I'm telling you, it's so worth it to go on their website and order them, because you could use tape, but these are a lot more gentle around your eye area. And whenever you're doing a precise eye look or winged liner, it just makes it super easy. And then when you take away the tape, tape. It doesn't pull on your eyes, so it's very gentle and very convenient. And what I like to do, which one of you guys actually told me, is just cut the tapes right in half so that you can get more for your buck. So this is what they look like. They're long eye tapes, so if you cut them down the middle, it's like 2 in 1, and you can just make them last a lot longer. So these are very basic, but I'm telling you, they've made the biggest difference with my eye makeup, and especially when I do winged liner. So cannot live without these anymore. We did it, finally. So if you guys are still here, first of all, watching this video, comment down below. I'm so over it. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed. Let me know what your 2018 beauty favorites were. I'm so excited for this year and all the new content that I have planned for you guys. I'm ready to pump out the videos, so get excited. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and hit that bell, that way you get notified every time I upload a new video. Thanks for everything. I love you all, and I'll see you soon. Bye.